Alright, our first game tonight is a game called Conducted Story. My improvisers up here, wonderful. So, how this game works is, these improvisers up here are going to tell you a story. But, they're not just going to go down the line and tell you the story. I'm going to stand in front of them and point to each one, making them speak on command. Now, this is a competition between these improvisers. So, if at any point I change who's talking and they hesitate too long, the next word that they say doesn't make sense with the last word, or let's say I stop someone mid-word, and the next person doesn't complete that word, then they are going to be out of the game. And what I need from you guys is whenever someone is out, we're going to go, out of here! Can everyone practice that with me once? Out of here! Alright, now I am a judge, but if at any time you think someone has messed up, go ahead and just go, boo! Alright, so I know that you think that they're out, alright? I'm not the only judge, you guys are also the judges. So, what I need for this game is the title of a story.
Why Cory Williams is amazing!
What is it? What is it?
I went to the beach and I was happy.
Alright, this is the first and last telling of I went to the beach and then I was happy.
One summer day, I woke up at 9 a.m. to learn that I was going to Orange Beach, the supreme beach of southern United States. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but all of the finest people in all the land go to this beach. In fact, they swim. They dive.
They plummet to their death. Sometimes. But usually that's So anyway, I packed up my belongings and went
to Orange Beach, where I planned on playing volleyball, or plummeting to my death.
And so I came to Orange Beach and I found a great person named Tim. Tim was a really nice guy. I liked him a lot. Tim and I went to the beach and sat on the sand and talked. Sometimes I played with Tim's dog, Timothy.
And sometimes I just played with the
Hemingway story. Lots to that beach that day.
Tim was a fan of the classics. And so of opera.
Oh, sorry, and so of opera? I think Caryn is out of here! Wonderful, that was a great first chapter. We learned a lot about this wonderful beach, but what happens next? Let's start here.
So naturally, with the rain coming down and the cliff looking rather appealing, I said as the sound of the Fury was playing tunes in my
broken! He is! Out of here! Alright, now that was a really, really exciting chapter. Alright, I'm almost dead. But chapter 3 starts now, right now.
After I cliff dive, very gently, sporadically throwing my arms in the air with joy, plummeting down in a rather pleasant fashion, striking the waves with gentle. Tim stood at the top and looked
down at me, reciting Mark Twain's The Adventures of Huckleberry
Finn. He opened the book and started at chapter 3. That's the best chapter, obviously. Clearly, all of us know it. I treaded water.
And saw the fishies swimming around.
My feet. Fortunately for me, they were sharp.
There were many piranhas, and I thought this reminds me of
that time when I was in the pool and there were lots of plastic piranhas. These are not plastic.
They're actual piranhas, and some of them are metal.
That is rather dangerous, but thankfully, the Tourist Bureau pins this as the happiest beach on earth, and so I will have a great time.
Swimming with the metal piranhas. Little did I know.
They didn't sink. They would because they're metal, but they
have propellers that keep them up. But sadly,
I couldn't swim.
And the propellers got tangled in my
feet, and then I sank. Thankfully, I can't breathe underwater, so this is not a big problem.
So I started reading my favorite Faulkner book.
One that goes like this.
Oh, that's not Meghan is out of here! Alright, you're in the final. Feeling the luck. We have a mutant who can breathe underwater but cannot swim. What will happen next? We are going to start right now.
It was really sad that Tim died. I missed him a lot.
He was such a great guy.
We really got along.
And I threw his ashes to the wind after the cremation. Rather poetic in a way.
That's what he would have wanted. He told
me that he wanted his death to be like Tom Joad's.
So I made him so.
And then we had a great great time at the wake, where we just got drunk.
And played in the wake, which...
in fact, because this was the finest beach in the land.
As the tourist brochures did say.
Say, on the document.
Out of here!
This is a game called Three Lines, in which these two improvisers will be doing a regular scene, but at certain times during the scene, they'll pick up a random line of dialogue that I've gotten from you, the audience, and they will have to say that line out loud and then justify why the hell they said that random thing. So for this game, I just need a suggestion of an object that has an interesting shadow.
Luigi!
This is Three Lines.
Man your station, John. Yes, Captain, I'm manning it. Pushing the button. Good. Don't forget to push it every time that bell rings. Captain, I had a ring! Captain, there's been a report on the monitor. I hope Kanye is watching Also God. I love when reports come, they're so infrequent. Yeah, of course Kanye is turned in. Kanye. Kanye is that unfortunate brother of his. He's a great turd of a man. It's from the president. Perfect. I know exactly what I'll say to him once he's on the phone. I'm really glad that my Latino folk music has reached the masses. I've been waiting for this cover album to hit center stage. Finally won on that Billboard Record Music Award. It's all the jam in Washington, D.C. Yes. The president wants us to know we've gone to war. With Switzerland. I hate to be rude, but the buzzer has rung. Sorry, Captain. Today was a waste of a day. It doesn't mean you let it list 6 buzzers go by. But, Captain, if we've gone to war with Switzerland, I must steer, and it's on the other side of the boat. Yes, and if you miss the buzzing and the pushing, we will go to war with Switzerland. I'm in a dilemma. Yes, and I have the perfect advice for your dilemma. I will solve it like this. Yes, I will be your life partner. Hooray! That means you'll push the button for me. Just because we're equals now. I've always wanted to be a captain. I knew I didn't need college. Oh, you're not your captain. You're just my partner. Ah! Oh my God, you're gorgeous. Yes, this is the perfect start to our... The bell, Captain! Thank you! I don't like this. This is a really high-stress job I've never realized. The bell, Captain! Thank you! Before we come to the surface in this submarine... Yes, where we've been all along. There's one last thing that I have been meaning to say. And it can only be said deep below the surface of my heart. The question, really. Where do you expect me to put all of these? Nancy!
You folks, Steph's the new teacher, so I want everybody to say goodbye to Mr. Williams, because he's gone away. Fitting that he's about to graduate college, and the next time you see him, he'll be a teacher. Could somebody close that door over there, please? The way this game works is these 4 people are members of Cory's class, but he doesn't know who these people are or what class he's teaching. They're going to have to get him to guess those things. So first I need a suggestion of a group of 4 people.
The Beatles.
I heard the Beatles. Great, so you guys are the Beatles, and can we get a subject of a class that's completely unrelated to the Beatles?
Jello.
Jello! I heard Jello. You're not learning how to make it or do things with it, you're just learning Jello. Okay, so to recap, these are the Beatles, they're learning Jello. On the count of 3, can we get Cory back in here? I want you to yell with me, "Come back, Cory!" 1, 2, 3. Come back, Cory! Mr. Williams, wait. First thing did you teach this class something?
Of course, I'm sorry.
We'll get to it.
I got it from here. Hello, class. Welcome. Someone's already written all over my board.
That was me.
All right. Don't do it again. My name is Mr. Williams. I'll be teaching your class today. Thank you for having me. All right. Now, your teacher didn't leave me any notes. So, you in the back. Can you tell me where you left off last time?
All right. Well, last time I don't really remember.
Oh, you were the idiot.
Put down your drumsticks, honey.
You're literally useless to us.
All right, well, if he's of no use, then you in the front. Tell me where you left off.
All right, I opened my book.
Foreign exchange student from Australia?
You would have loved to sing at the wedding recently, but I'm dead.
And I'm having trouble with my wife, I think.
Too much.
Shut up, Paul.
Give me your iPod. Give me a little help.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah? Because you're the Beatles. Sorry, it's morning. I was walking in. But we have to start learning now, all right? It's half till lunch. So,
Mrs. Jester says that if I do a lot of LSD, I can look at different flavors, and they'll be interesting to look at.
that's true. You.
It never moves on the inside.
Oh, we have a model. Okay, good. It's like Jell-O. You're the Beatles. My part is done.
This is a game called 1, 3, 5, and for these three improvised pieces, the way that it's going to go is one of them is going to be allowed to say one word, another one is going to be allowed to say 3 words, and the other one's going to be allowed to say 5 words at a time. So for these three improvisers, can I get something you would never ever want to find in your sister's drawer?
Yes.
Vibrator.
Fungus is your suggestion. This is 1, 3, 5.
Disgusting. You never clean the toilet?
Gross.
Yes. No. Weird.
Mean.
Listen, you. No. I remember now. You throw this? No. Roommate, you suck. Oh, KKK.
I'll call my dad, okay?
He lives outside. Dad, hello me.
Hello, honey. Your dad.
Come inside soon. No.
Problems in the room?
Yes,
Here. I'm here. I live in the hall.
Problems with toilet.
Toilet.
You know clean. Gross. Gross because you.
Now, girls, let's not fight. You're a funny one, lady. Daughter, no, have humor sense.
They tell me I have none. Sorry.
You're the sad daughter. Ha!
Back to problem. Toilet has fungus.
Yes.
I know sit. I pee bed.
That would make bed dirty.
Her bed dirty.
No.
High five, please. No.
Uh-oh, chili for lunch.
This is a game called Voices from Heaven, and as you can see, these three improvisers are dead. It's pretty obvious. They all died in interesting, possibly related ways. We're going to figure out with your help. So, for Randy, can I get
A bearded dragon.
Wait for me to ask. Can I get a profession that exists but shouldn't?
Taxidermist.
rocket launcher inventor.
You're a taxidermist. I did. For Carina, can I get a really cool profession that does not exist?
Wizard! The catcher of rainbows!
The catcher of rainbows! And for Jackoway, I just get a profession.
Secretary!
Shoelace
What was that? Secretary. So, can we recap really quick?
Taxidermist.
Catcher of rainbows.
Secretary.
My name is Raoul the taxidermist. My parents didn't give me a lot of job opportunities when they named me. My motto is I'll taxidermy anything. Literally anything. One time, a kid brought in his younger brother to be taxidermy, and I did it because he gave me a nickel. Whenever it rains, I get sad because I only taxidermy recently dead things, and in the rain, you can't go outside, you can't find recently dead things. There is one benefit to the rain, though. After the rain comes a rainbow, and with a rainbow comes a leprechaun. It's been my dream to taxidermy a leprechaun. Ever since my parents explained to me what my name meant, it's been my dream.
Oh. My name's Frank. And well, I'm not a leprechaun. I'm an excellent leprechaun impersonator. I have spent my days traversing Ireland, traversing even somebody from Kansas. And I feel like at this point in my career, I've developed a very strong persona. I studied for many years at Juilliard. It's very difficult to really hone my skills when everyone else there was just a fucking psychopath, and it was just very, very hard. Okay? Like, acting school's hard, guys. So I went to Ireland.
Hi there, my name's Gary. I work for a doctor. He goes by Dr. Richard Lucky Charms. My job is to sit in front of his office. People come in and say, well, I have a doctor's appointment. I say, sit the fuck down, read it back. Dr. Lucky Charms will be with you in a moment.
Now, on the day that I died, it rained in the morning. While I was asleep, so I missed the bad part of it. I woke up and saw that the ground was wet, the windows were wet, there was water dripping down from the gutter of my home in Galway. I live in Galway. In case you were wondering where my accent is from, why I'm named Raoul. I looked out my window, as was my custom every morning, drinking my coffee, and what I saw amazed me. So much so that I spilled coffee in my lap and burned my inner thighs and genitals. But it was worth it, because I saw the biggest, well, most glorious rainbow I'd ever seen. I knew that today was the day I would catch a leprechaun, kill it mercilessly, preserve its hide, stuff it, and display it on my Irish mantelpiece, above my fireplace that burns only Irish oak.
No, life in Ireland is harder than you might think. Maybe even harder than acting school. Think about it. So I was out there in Galway, Ireland, searching for the rainbows, searching for the pot of gold that comes at the end of them. And I realized I was starting to lose my mind. I was getting a little worried about myself. I don't know if that's a sign of being crazy. Maybe my Irish accent that has recently developed is. I don't know. So I decided, I had a buddy of mine, a good buddy. He told me to go to the doctor. And I said, okay. I'm getting worried about myself. So I decided to go see a nice man named Dr. Lucky Charms. End of the rainbow on South Gabbie Street.
Doctor's office, I work as a fucking ray of sunshine. There's a permanent rainbow just coming through the window. I used to think it was beautiful. Now it just makes me sad because it's the most beautiful thing I see is at work. How kind of life is that? One day this leprechaun bitch comes into the office and starts complaining about the wallpaper. I say, sit down, have a cactus cooler or something. I don't want to hear from you anymore.
With my submachine gun hunting rifle in tow, I followed the rainbow all the way to South Galway Street. I looked at the door of the building that it was going into and thought to myself, strange that this rainbow is going into a building. But no matter. I had a good feeling about today. It was a doctor's office, so I figured worst case scenario I could get the genital burns checked out. I got in there, and there were lots of strange people. Any one of them could have been my leprechaun. I started firing blindly into the gunfighters. There were screams and yells of terror and pain. Blood splashed everywhere, including my eyes. I could no longer see. I lost control of the gun. Shot myself in the face. I never did bag me a leprechaun.
A bad day. A real bad day, and I've had a lot of bad days in acting school. A lot of bad days, let me tell you. I was once Romeo, and I'm a girl. So I was sitting there in my chair. I had a real bad interaction with the secretary. She was a real fucking bitch. She tried to have me drink this cooler that tasted like shit. I was not having none of it. So I told her, you bitch, tell it to me straight. Do I look like a leprechaun or what? She said no. So I took out my Glock. Unfortunately, my Glock misfired, fired me right in the face. From down on heaven, I looked down and I saw that a crazy man came in and killed everybody right after me. It wasn't really such a bummer.
I looked over the room of dead bodies and thought to myself, this is going to be an easy day. No one to complain to me. Then I saw that the leprechaun bitch had left her cactus cooler unfinished. And I'm not going to let that happen, so I drank it. But as I found out later, all leprechauns have hepatitis, and I died.
All right, this is a game called Good Twin, Bad Twin. In this scene, two improvisers will be good. But unfortunately, they'll decide. Unfortunately, they have two evil twins who will tap in and cause mischief in the scene. So what I need, what I need for these two improvisers is your favorite dance move.
Daggery!
Your suggestion is mashed potatoes. Take it as you want.
It's a squirrel I killed in the backyard.
That's so sustainable.
It was eating all of our vegetables. I figured we should, eat it. Keep the nutrients.
Could use some arsenic. Are we giving it to the neighbors?
Oh, that's okay. I like arsenic.
Remember that time we built up an immunity to it?
That was a great summer.
It's too bad you didn't. Here, would you like a taste?
I trust you with anything.
Good. Oh, I'm immune to it. Good one.
It's so sexy when we see each other.
Yeah, I think we should do more with utensils. Here's a butcher knife.
Oh, now that I'm dying,
The squirrel's not mashed enough.
my last moments as I die of arsenic poisoning are going to be with you. And then my last taste will be that arsenic, garlicky, wonderful, buttery potato taste.
You're not in pain, are you? I can end that. Mercy kill, it's still a nice thing.
Let you ride on the ground for hours. Originally, I was going to just leave this by the bedside so you could die alone. And I could watch from the video camera so I set up for her.
Because you never enjoyed company.
I was thinking it would be kind of cool for our relationship if while I was writing, I tried to do it like kind of sexy.
Right, but then I could bury you alive.
Oh,
Yeah?
oh
Yeah?
no, see, here's
And then invite the neighborhood kids over, they could piss on your grave.
Sanitary! Oh,
morning.
it's so sanitary.
Oh,
The jerk.
I know how much you hated your mom, and I just thought you'd think it was really funny, like the image of me squatting.
I did hate her, and you remind me of her.
Oh, I know it's always been our biggest trouble.
Which is why I brought this chainsaw. It's your mom's.
Still have the knife and the squirrel.
Let's go with it.
Yay! I still have the knife and the squirrel.
Alright, so everybody in the audience was feeling really creative, so don't blame me for these suggestions. In this game, all K.A.R.L will be given a suggestion, and they will tell you how they like
the jobs.
I like my women like I like my scientists. Explosive, boom! Hey!
I like my men like I like my scientists. They're really just Bill Nye the Science Guy.
I like my men like I like my scientists. They know how to use their instrument.
I like my men like I like my scientists, with an MD from Washington University and can take really good care of me.
I like my women like I like my scientists. I really wanted to be one when I was like 6 years old, and I grew out of that real fast.
I like my women like I like my scientists, always measuring.
I like my women like I like my scientists, in white coats.
I like my women like I like my scientists, stuck in a lab all day doing experiments.
I like my women like I like my scientists. Their tubes are designed for whatever I put in them.
Okay.
Carl, how do you like your women like you like softball?
I like my women like I like my softball. It's a sport only for the ladies.
I like my women like I like my softball. Really could live without it.
I like my women like I like my softball. They don't get no respect.
I like my women like I like my softball, tossed around between the local fire department and the police station.
I like my women like I like my softball. The only time I've ever seen it has been on TV.
I don't like that team.
I like my women like I like my softball, hard and light.
I like my women like I like my softballs. Last time I touched one, I was 6 years old.
Referees. They were in a sports league.
I like my women like I like my referees, working at Foot Locker.
I like my referees. They know all the rules.
I like my women like I like my hockey referees. They'll blow the whistle on physical contact, but you can get a few good punches in first.
I like my women like I like my basketball referees. They're just chasing those balls down and back across the court.
I like my women like I like my boxing referees. They actually encourage you to hit me.
I like my women like I like my referees. They use a lot of symbols I just don't understand.
I like my women like I like my referees, they're really easy to pay off.
I like my men like I like my referees. They talk with their hands.
I like my women like I like my referees. Black on white or white on black.
How do you like your women like you like your baptisms?
I like my women like I like my baptisms, underwater.
I like my men like I like my baptisms. I don't.
I like my women like I like my baptisms. If you do it wrong, somebody drowns.
I like my women like I like my baptisms. My godparents are always there.
I like my women like I like my baptisms. On the altar up in the church.
I like my women like I like my baptisms. It was between this and getting part of my penis cut off.
I like my women like I like my baptisms. Just a couple days out of the womb.
How do you like your women like you like computer programming? What an intelligent audience.
Like I like my computer programming. I don't like them. I don't know them. We have no relationships.
I like my women like I like my computer programming. They talk to each other in C++.
I like my women like I like my computer programming.
I like my women like I like my computer programming. It is the path to lots and lots of porn.
I like my women like I like my computer programming. It started off over Java, but then there was just Perl everywhere. I like my women like I like my snowboarding. There's always wood under their feet.
I like my men like I like my snowboard. Long and hard. It was like one...
Like I like my snowboarding. They don't need those sticks to keep balance.
I like my women like I like my snowboarding. The alternative involves more poles than I'm comfortable
I like my women like I like my snowboarding, covered in my white slush.
I like my women like I like my snowboarding. You can see them professionally on TV, but very rarely, and no one really ever watches it.
I like my men like I like my snowboarding. At least Sean White does it.
I like my women like I like my snowboarding. Some people ride goofy.
I like my women like I like my snowboarding. If you want to do it right, you got to be harnessed in first.
I'm trying to snowboarding, so I'm gonna go with dentist.
I like my women like I like my dentist. Woman with a job.
I like my men like I like my dentist. Great with his drill.
I like my men like I like my dentist. They always tell me when to spit.
I like my women like I like my dentist. I've been seeing the same one since I was 4 years old.
I like my men like I like my dentist. Filling my cavities.
To get us started in the second half, we're going to play a game called 5 In, 5 Out. But to do that, I need an audience volunteer to number these people from 1 to 5. You, in the green, can you number them from 1 to 5 in any order?
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect. The way this game works is Stephanie Spence will be starting us off with a one-person scene. Then whoever is number 2 will enter that scene, creating an entirely different scene. Then the third person will enter, then the fourth, and then the fifth. Upon the fifth person's entrance, they will exit, reverting it back to the fourth scene, and then the third, and then the second, and then the first, bringing us right back to the lovely Miss Stephanie Spence. So, for her, can I just get a suggestion of an object?
Pirate bag.
Pandora's box.
Pirate bag.
This is 5 in, 5 out.
Oh, Tyra Banks poster. Tell me what I should do with my hair today. What's that? You come an international mogul. Tyra Banks. I want to be something else. What?
Welcome, Stephanie. I'm your godmother of doom.
Oh,
You've been very naughty, and I'm here to punish you for your sins.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on that scale. I didn't see it.
No.
Daughter, your very tall parents are very disappointed. I'm trying to grow. It's not working. Look at you. She's so small.
Tiny.
Minuscule.
You
know it would help. I bought you this pogo stick. Be occasionally as high as us.
Maybe if you had moon shoes, you could be taller. We don't fit on planes. We orchestrate flocks of seagulls.
Men, get down! The crowds will see you if you're above the trench like that.
Sergeant, I'm confused. I feel safe here with you.
What is it, Private?
I'm literally out in the open. I picked it up.
Sergeant, there are blueberries in this bush.
Don't eat them!
Hey guys, I'm loving this circus act that we're in. Wait, it's time to do the pyramid. It's time to do the pyramid, guys. Guys, you can be on top.
Hop.
You're gonna have to get on.
Hop!
Hop.
You're gonna have to get on.
Hop!
Hop, 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 hop,
Hop!
hop.
Woo!
Yay!
You know what?
I need the line of fire!
Wait!
I don't want to be the cavalry!
You've been shot!
Help!
It looks bad.
I'm dying! Oh no, that's it!
I don't feel like we have a leader. I'm going to run away.
I've been exposed to the pointlessness of war. The inhumanity. It's all over for me and for this one.
I'll settle
We're both daughters. Mahoney, make me proud.
You don't need... Now I'm the tallest!
The problem with being too tall, all of your organs fail.
No, the smallest survive.
No, don't kick me.
doing a scene, but sometimes they're going to take a break from talking to each other and talk to you, the beautiful audience. So this scene, can I get a suggestion of a non-geographic location?
Gumdrop elephant places!
I heard gumdrop elephant places.
All right, Susie, time for your bedtime story.
Charles, yes. I love those stories. Read to me now.
Here's some gumdrops.
What he didn't know was every time he read his stories to me, I fell more and more in love.
My daughter is more literate than I am. Susie, you're going to have to read this one to me. It's time for you to grow up.
That's what all the teachers say in school, all the time, but it's scary. You know, to grow up, pay taxes, die, that's real.
It's about time you tucked me in.
Daddy, get comfortable.
I tried to build my own bed. It didn't work out very well.
It seems to me that Daddy was the one that never grew up, because I know how to make my bed, vacuum my floor, and clean my sheets with the laundry.
My 3-year-old daughter is clearly smarter than I am. Susie, just come tuck your miserable father in. It's time for me to say goodnight to this horrible existence.
Okay, Daddy, here's the blanket. You use these sometimes to keep warm.
I can only afford blankets with holes in them. I actually knit blankets with holes in them too. It's really sad.
Ever since Mom died in a tragic horse shooting Daddy has just been going bonkers, and I'm the one who now needs to be a grown-up and take care of him. Daddy, I will love you till the day that I die, or you die, whatever comes first. I will be there for you.
Susie,
Yes.
Read me the one about the white pony.
Yes, the right pony.
My wife was riding a white pony when we got married. She died on a black pony.
Dad, Daddy, read it with me. I'm just gonna start crying when you rub it on.
You're just rubbing this in now.
Read it with me. The white horse. Daddy. What the fuck?
She's clearly just using this to her advantage. I know what she's trying to do. She's trying to make me feel dumb, so that soon enough she can start paying the bills, and then she can just claim, she can just say, you know, I own everything. So like anytime I object,
own everything.
because WashU does not have enough acapella groups as is. What this is K.A.R.L is going to sing you some songs based on the scenes that these two improvisers perform for you. So, for this scene, can I get a suggestion of, something you would have put in your inside jacket pocket if you had been at the royal wedding? What?
Goldfish.
A goldfish? Oh, yes, it's perfect. Your suggestion is a goldfish. This is acapella.
I poured Tabasco sauce in the bowl and now he's dead.
Oh, Milton, that's the third goldfish you've killed this month.
Yeah, but only the second with Tabasco sauce.
I think it might be too soon to give you the responsibility of a dog.
Oh, but I want a dog so badly. I wouldn't feed Tabasco sauce or anything.
Milton, 2 out of 3 times you've killed your pets with Tabasco sauce. I can do statistics. you don't. Milton, a fish will die if you put hot sauce in its eye. Milton, I'm here to teach you a thing or two. I can do statistics. 2 and 4 is 8. I can do statistics. You're coming on real late. You're 15 years old next week. I thought you would have learned this by now, Milton. I'm worried about you.
You don't have to worry about me, Mom. I mean, I've been eating on my own now.
Yes, I don't have to fork feed you anymore.
I'm still working on helping other things eat, but that'll come with time.
Milton, your pants are on backwards.
It's so I can poop with the flies. Well, you may have thought I didn't know how to poop. Turns out I know none of this, huh? I can poop, I can pee, I can eat my own food. I can do it with the fork, I can do it with the spoon. Still working on using a knife. I can take care of myself, and I can take care of the dog too. So get me a dog, Mom, or I will poop on you. I've learned some things, Mom.
Very little in the way of real life.
That'll come with time.
All right, Milton.
It's like finding a car. I'll learn how to get to the grocery store.
Milton, you can barely ride your own bicycle.
But I can't ride to the grocery store. I gotta learn.
You still sit on it backwards, no matter how many times I tell you the handlebars are in front.
That's so that if someone else gets on, they can hold the handlebars. What are you, an idiot?
Very well, Milton. We'll start with the robotic dog. How about that?
That's a good start. You just have that sitting there?
It's Christmas tomorrow.
Well, thanks for getting me a dog, Pop. That's all I really wanted. I guess I never specified biological robotic. So thank you for this dog.
You're welcome, my son. A shining light. I hope you don't murder your robotic Fido by tonight.
Well, I heard that dogs like water. That's what I'm gonna do.
It's an electronic device.
Oh no, Sparky, you are Sparky. Sparky is I killed my dog. I killed my dog.
Oh, a tiny turtle.
My dog is dead.
Milton, it only took you less than a minute. It took you less than a minute.
It took me 30 seconds. That's twice as long as I finished. Twice as long as I finished. I'm improving exponentially. Give me a new dog.
You win, Milton. You win this time.
I win this time. I am the best dog owner in the world. No other dog owner will be me. Milton the dog owner.
This next game is a game called Talk Radio. This is the Talk Radio show. Connor is hosting. All of the improvers in the back line are going to call in and give opinions on the show. So for this game, I need first a suggestion of a local headline.
Dog crashes in tornado
octopus. I am sufficient for all of your underwater parenting needs. Today we're going to be talking about some really, really pressing issues. Some of them on-base, some of them in my more native domain. So I'm going to start off by taking some callers. 1, 2.
Okay. Guess where I am? Everywhere. I'm coming for you. And all those kids. And you know what? All your arms. And those little suction thingies on all your arms. Be afraid, I'm a shark.
I am. Okay, I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna look in a bowl of cereal the same way. That's for sure.
Hey mate, it's the ghost of Steve Owen.
How are you?
I had an unfortunate run-in with a stingray of my own, so I need to give you some advice about keeping your tentacles. Watch your fins, watch your hands, watch your children.
I don't have fins or hands.
That's not going to be a problem for you then, is it?
You're watching children, my show's all about it.
I'm going to tell you something straight, Octopus.
Yes, Steve.
I'm going to protect you with my life. And I heard there was a shark eating up children's limbs, and I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to stab it in the heart, just like I was.
Stevie, where'd you go? I just want to talk to you. 1, 2, I'm scared.
First off, I would like to say too soon. Second off, I would like to say that you are an imposter. I am the original Octo-mom. I catapulted 8 babies out of my vagina.
I recently heard about the accident with the dog.
Intern, why are you talking? Intern, get out of my studio. No one listens. 1, 2.
Hey, I heard about Steve Irwin, and you know what? I accept that threat. I'm climbing in your window, snatching your face. That's all I gotta say about that, Steve Irwin. Eating all those fish and human children. I'ma hang up now.
There's a warning. Sharks everywhere.
Hey there, it's Cindy Lou Henderson, director of the Montana Aquarium. Wondering if you could come by for an interview. Sometime we're looking at new positions for a giant talking octopus.
All of the illegal octopus children we have back there. Don't make yourself useful.
Hey, you got a bunch of illegal octopi sitting around. I'm gonna come get them.
There are no octopi.
You just sit on there. That was really stupid for you.
Call me.
I'm talking on the phone with you. That's what I do.
I assure you there are no octopi children.
Yes,
here. There are sharks here. There are sharks
okay, these are the things that I know. This is what I know. You are an octopus and you talk. I would like to have you captive. Number 2. You are a mother octopus with tiny baby talking octopuses. This is something that will make me lots of money. Glad we had this talk. It's been a pleasure. See you later.
Oh, first sharks and now streamers and keepers. Well, I'm really glad we're resolving all of our issues and instead just creating new ones for me. We got time for a couple more callers. Please save me. Solve our problems. Why do?
That was very rude what you did before hanging up on me. You don't know what it's like raising 8 children. Have you ever played a game of checkers with 8 babies? It's not an octagon, it's a square. That checkers board is a square, and there aren't enough sides for all those babies. It is a difficult life being an Octo-mom. That's the hardest thing I've done. Also, all the pooping. There's a lot of pooping.
I'm here for your babies, Octo-mom.
Can we talk about that puppy in the tree? I'm really cheering up right now.
Well, I heard about that accident. I thought it was terrible. Just terrible.
Great, you have morality.
And I was just wondering, why didn't this dog have a CNI person? I'm a part of the CNI person society, and we take blind dogs and give them people. I understand. I don't like being interrupted.
Anyway, I've heard about all these accidents happening, about the puppies running into the trees. I just want to make sure that everyone hears, hey, hey, hey.
What was that sound?
That's your fault.
I don't know
That's
what's
going
going on
on there. You can't have a CNI person. Sorry.
Questionable legality. Goodbye. Alright, well, I guess we've got time for one more caller. If you could either solve the puppies running into things problem, solve the problem of the sharks everywhere, or solve the problem of the zookeeper, that'd be really nice. Deus ex machina is not something that I typically believe in. 1, 2.
Hello, I'm the son of Steve Owen. Just here to make a memory of my dear lost father. Tragedy strikes the radio.
You seriously didn't include me on your list of problems? I'm gonna wait for you to pick up. I'm gonna yell at you to go and hope someone hears me. You're an asshole. Do you know what it's like having 8 kids but only 3 slides? That's not even invisible. God!
This next game is a game called Buzzer. These 2 improvisers will be doing just a normal scene, but I'm a douchebag, so whenever I want, I'm gonna go, and they have to change what they're doing. So for these 2 improvisers, let's get a relationship.
Second cousin.
Sister wife. Second cousin. This is Buzzer, second cousin. Gonna go down to the store later?
Yep, plan to sue. Pick you up a bail for our impending wedding.
Oh God, I'm so excited. I had to make biscuits.
I ordered it special from Al's General Store. He said, I ordered it special from the Macy's catalog. I ordered it special from Phil down the street. You know, the one who's always getting things off the back of the truck.
You know how I feel about them. You know how I feel about them.
Now, honey, I know that you don't like Phil.
That is what I just said.
But we don't have very much money. And I want us to have a proper wedding with a proper veil. And the only way to do that is to get it from Phil. We can't afford no fancy schmancy veil from Al's General or from the Macy's catalog. That's too expensive for us.
I just wanted to have a nice life.
Biscuits need to be stirred.
Stir biscuits.
I didn't do that. You're just doing it all wrong. I just wanted to have a nice life. That's why I decided to marry you. I thought you had more money than the Flegates and family. From the Doobies. That is my family name.
You're a doobie? I had no idea. I just knew your first name. This is terrible. I'm a doobie also. We must have some common relatives at some point in our family history.
I was under the impression that we were second cousins, but perhaps we are.
You know
brother
so
and
much
sister.
more about this. I thought I found a nice girl at the town high school. I thought I found a nice girl sweeping the streets in front of the high school. I thought I found a nice girl down at the municipal water pool doing the high dive with her hair in a bun.
I'd like to do the dive.
It seems like I found a nice second cousin, though.
Where were you born? Tell me.
I was born right here at the hospital up the street, Warrington's General.
Now, see, I was left on a stoop next to the municipal pool. And I was under the water in the
to it. Anyway, Middle said that scene, I'll say cut back, and these two improvisers will step forward, completing the scene exactly where it left off. So for these two improvisers, I need a suggestion of something that you want to do after you graduate.
Get a job.
I want to go squatting. That's what I think is a great thing to do. This is Tonietto, splunking. Cut to what state this cave is in.
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
We're really gonna do it, Martha. Yes. Yes, Martha. To consummate the marriage.
What church has this weird marriage?
Church of Nebraska.
We must go in and find the sacred jewels for our wedding rings.
Maybe we could just go back to California and get married.
No! They've legalized marijuana there. Never! Martha! That was my one rule. The one rule.
Which I would never break.
Good!
What's that, a bet?
Yes, that was a bet. Good. I'm glad you studied our pamphlets before we came to this cave. Very good, Martha. Now, I know you're nervous, but why are you nervous? I've got a pickaxe. What could go wrong? That's what I'm asking.
Catch a spelunker explaining what tools you actually need to go spelunking.
Goldfish.
A giant sea monster to protect you.
Laser boy arm shells for lowering.
Suspenders for doing this.
You broke that.
Yes, I did, Martha. We not eat in the cave.
Cut to what happened if they ate in the cave.
I'm the sea monster. Someone else brought it. I smelled your food.
Now, maybe you only read the first half of the pamphlets, Martha, but the cave is full of sea monsters, okay? And they will smell the Pringles, bypass them, and eat us. If your breath smells like Pringles, that still smells like Pringles. Good. I think you should buy it. Yes. Good.
The sea monster is doing a hoedown.
Now do an outman large, and back up and form a star.
Yes, of course. Of course. We won't even go all the way into the cave. Just the back. He's eaten thousands of the precious jewels. We'll cut him open and it will spill.
There it is.
He's just so high.
So high.
Oh, he can speak.
This is the best wedding I've ever been to.
Cut to how scientists didn't discover the sea monster for so long.
I have never eaten in a cave, but
I'm
today I
blind.
will try it.
I wish I could see.
We can't kill a living creature that speaks. That would be, if we could do that, we could just cut my belly open and spill the jewels from there.
Yeah, do that.
Now that,
You heard the man.
had about enough of you.
Can I see the pickaxe?
Of course, my wife. Are you going to throw it at the back, Martha? You ain't no more that way. No?
Cut to Gabby, the sea monster in therapy, talking about why her marriage isn't working out.
And then he's like, humans have souls. Don't eat them. And I'm like, they're food.
You should try eating blowjobs.
Now, Martha, I'm starting to get a sneaky
I wish Kanye were here so I could make a motherfucking monster joke.
Oh my God. Requires teamwork and trust.
And cake. I brought some.
No food, Martha! All right, now that was lovely. It looked like you spent a lot of time making that. But I might have saved our lives if we were to ever go in that cave. The sea monsters can't come back out.
I don't want to be married to you.
What?
You're a bully.
That makes no sense. We are in love.
You're only in love with yourself, and I'm in love with this weed I've been smoking.
We send out the seniors with pomp and mirth, and also pandas, because as you know, that's the mascot of K.A.R.L. Improv. So Emily's going to present the pandas to the seniors. We can play Guess Whose Panda It Is. It's pretty obvious. It's a fun game we like to play. I like to play, I don't know. Guess whose panda this is? It's wearing flip-flops. It's Cory.
It's a sash.
That's a sash for stuff in. It doesn't fit on you. Yeah. To Gabby, Sparkle Tits Tonietto. I miss you. It doesn't go on people's head. It looks like they're just saying great noise.
That's too much. One requires an explanation.
Oh no.
Hey, so this is great. This is a shout out to your many women parts, but also to the sketch you did where you were a lovely tooth fairy, and you wear polos.
I don't swim.
There are too many racist jokes in here.
For your information, I actually can swim. I just choose not to.
Well, you look great in a bikini, so that's good.
That's
why your fan is wearing it. Yeah, I really appreciated working with you guys for my career and K.A.R.L. You guys mean the absolute world to me. And I know that this group would not be what it is today without you guys. You've been a true inspiration. Each of you bring such a different dynamic and strength to the group. I mean, Greenwald with your impressive characters, and you're always dedicated, committed to this group and to the people in it. Your faith in us is exceptional. To Cory for laughing or crying on stage when he wants to do either one. It's an appropriate time to pretend you're laughing. When he sees you and pretend to cry. All the tables have turned. Your dedication to this group also has been exemplary. You've been an extremely effective leader this year. And we really appreciate you getting the group together and getting everybody behind you as practice. Yeah, to Stephanie Spence for freaking out. But always your dedication to energy on stage. And to being CFO with K.A.R.L. Caryn dominance over in Lira. The stock is down. Down. Investors sell now. And to Gabby Tonietto, I know that you have been a principal part of making this group a family. And I know that you and I have spent many nights out talking and I've shared many great times with this group, both in practice and outside of practice. And I mean, all of you will be some of my best friends for the rest of my life. So I don't know if anyone wants to say anything. She's almost a senior, so she's.
Well, I am a senior. I love you guys. You guys have been the past 4 years, the best years of my life. You guys might be so I'm gonna miss you guys so much.
Now we're crying, and you can.
This is my mom.
beginning of next year with new parlors and some old faces. So I'm Meghan.
I'm Will.
I'm Caryn. I am Carina.
Alex.
Connor.
Jed.
Kate. Emily.
Randy.
Greenie.
Cory.
Stephanie.